Today's Torah portion is Shelakh Lekha, which means to send, but what often doesn't get translated is that second part, which means for you, or it'd be like for yourself, right? So remember, so it's the word on the left, right, is Lecha. Remember, the Lamed was the shepherd's staff, meaning like to or toward. So it's also the word for. And then cha, I didn't really teach that, but that means like you, and it's masculine. But you hear it all the time in like the Aaronic blessing, yivarechecha, vayishmerecha, blah 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 blah. So anytime you hear like cha at the end of a word, that means like you. All right. And it comes from Numbers 13, verse 2, when it said send here. So send out is the word shalach. And from this word, we actually get it's more of a modern Hebrew word, but it's pretty relevant, is the word shaliach, which is the word for apostle, because that's what apostle means, someone that is sent out, the sent out one. So for some of you that might be learning Hebrew, there's like a neat little, Hebrew has like very standard like pronunciation patterns. So like you see that the vowels to the word shaliach is E, A-E, right? A-E, shaliach. So that's kind of similar to the word, it's like a passive form, and that's like similar to the word David, right? David, what does that mean? Beloved. Another word that has the same pattern is the word Mashiach, right? What does that mean? Messiah, anointed. So it's this passive, like to anoint, anointed, to love, beloved. So we have send out, and a sent out one would be shaliach, following this neat little pattern that Hebrew does stuff like this all the time. All right, now the word spy out here, this is kind of funny little situation. That word spy out is the Hebrew word tour. So Moses sent them on a little tour to go, look around, meander, they say. So they went on a tour. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so here in this verse, this isn't from the portion, but it's the word humble, right? Well, if you remember from some of my other teachings, that's abstract, right? So Hebrew always takes things back to something concrete. So what would be the concrete thing behind humble? Well, if you look it up, it's the word kana, which very literally means like to bend the knee, but it's also translated like to bring low, to bring down, okay? So you could kind of see humble as being like bringing yourself low, humbling yourself, bending the knee. So there's the word kana, which means humble, bring low, bring down. Then we have the word kanaan. Does that sound like anything yet? Because we say it like Canaan. All right? And you can see this kind of wordplay here in Nehemiah when it says, so the children went and possessed the land and you subdued them. That's the word kana, to bring down, to take down, you could say. It's subdue, so it's kana, bring down, humble them before them, and inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites. So in Hebrew, there's actually a little connection there that you can't really see in English. But I don't really think that's really what Canaan means. Because here we have the word kina'ah, and that word's kind of more along the lines of goods or merchandise or wares. Here in Jeremiah, it's translated wares. And the idea is probably, remember, it's like something going down, like something like it's weighed down, like it's loaded, like you've got a lot of it, or, I don't know how to describe that very well, but something like that. Now, in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 24, we have the word merchant there. And it's actually interesting because that's the same word translated Canaanite in other places. So there's this connection to, being weighed down, brought down, and like merchant stuff. So, because, Canaanites, they lived in the land of milk and honey, and the whole fruit thing. And so those are the kind of connections that I'm making. All right, last thing. So let's see. told them go up this way by the south. Well, south is also like another abstract idea, right? That's just a concept. So if you look up that word for south, you'll see that it's the word Negev or Negev. That's the word you might hear about, talk about in Israel, the Negev. And, oops, I didn't have it in here. Anyway, I should have put that in here. If you look that word up, it actually means like dry or parched. Because south of Israel, you have the Negev desert and all that, so that's the idea of being south. It's in the dry area. So using that logic, what would be west? What's west of Israel? Anyone? Any guesses? The Mediterranean. So one of the words translated west in your Bible is the word yam, which means sea. So that's just a neat little Hebrew thing, kind of words they use where they're more concrete. So that's it. Shabbat shalom.